Welcome to the week of February 9th. I'm recording this on Super Bowl Sunday, which is the 62nd anniversary of the Cleveland Browns' last NFL championship. For those of you paying attention, yes, this is Super Bowl 60, so that means their last win was pre-Super Bowl era. But nonetheless, we'll talk about running. This week's high quality workout, mile and quarters, and we want to start with a great warm-up like you're going to race, because this is a high enough intensity. The workout's at 90%. It's high enough intensity that warm-up is really going to matter. It's really going to help you get the most out of the work that you're doing. And anytime we work, especially when we work this hard, we want to make sure that we're getting all the benefit possible. So do your race day warm-up. We've talked about that a number of times. It can be 4 to 6 times 100-meter striders. It can be 2 times minute on, minute off, and 4 times 20/40s. Whatever it takes to get some tension in your legs, do some heavy breathing, get enough volume in that you're nice and warm and you're ready to go. Even if we do get a better weather week, it's still going to be relatively cool for this type of intensity. So make sure that you're warmed up really well. The workout starts with a mile at 90%. 90% is going to feel a whole lot like 100%. The difference is maybe that last 200 or 300, you're not going into full race mode, you're not kicking at the end, but you're maintaining a very high effort. This is anaerobic work. Maybe that first 800 of the mile, maybe a little bit longer, maybe for the first kilometer of that mile, you might be threshold plus. So you're producing lactic acid because your intensity level is high enough, but you're not accumulating it. Over the last 400 to 800, yes, you're accumulating lactic acid, and this is not a pace that you could sustain beyond that finish of the mile. So it should be very high intensity, and we're going to talk here in a minute about why we're doing that. After a 3 to 5 minute recovery jog, 5 could be a bit excessive, so 3 might be plenty. Do enough to get recovered, and then go right into the 400 or quarter miles. We're doing 6 to 10 times 400 or quarter miles, and we're doing those with 200-meter recovery jog or equal time. So if it's measured or your watch is telling you that you've gone 200 meters, use that. If not, if your quarter mile took you 75 seconds, jog slow-mo for 75 seconds and then go again. This is economy work. It is type 2 fun. It's not going to be a whole lot of fun while we do it. Often I'll give you a mental perspective or a mental trick, or at least, as my wife likes to say, some Jedi mind trick mumbo jumbo to make you feel better about the work we're doing. At this intensity level, it's just going to be hard. There's just no way around it. But it's very beneficial, and that's why we're doing it. Economy is the type of work that lowers the energy cost of running a goal pace. And the lower we can get that energy cost, the more likely you are going to be able to run that goal pace. So back in the 80s, my last coach, Roy Benson, taught me about running economy and why we do economy work. And here are the reasons why. Here's why marathoners are being asked to run quarter-mile repeats. You might think that's way too short. How's that going to help me for a race that lasts several hours? Well, here's how it's going to help you. One, it raises your VO2. A higher VO2 is good for every race distance, because we know the higher that goes, the faster you are at every percentage below it. So we want to make sure that your running economy is good. And now for a marathon, if you're going to average maybe 75 to 80% of your VO2, that 75 to 80% is faster than it used to be. So your race will be faster than it used to be. So raising VO2 is important. It's also going to increase capillary beds. At this intensity level, when you're producing lactic acid, when you're breathing through your eyeballs because you can't get enough oxygen in your nose and your mouth, it forces basically more branches from that capillary tree or that capillary bed to deliver that oxygen to the working muscles. So that's why intensity is great, and that's going to help you at every distance. It's also going to increase flexibility and strength because of the longer stride required to run this fast. Don't confuse a longer stride with overstriding, but to go this fast, to go mile pace, to go faster than mile pace, you're going to have a longer stride. That cadence is high, it's probably getting higher, but the stride is also getting longer, and that is strength and flexibility training in itself. It's also going to increase muscle and mind coordination, which is good, especially at the shorter distances, but beneficial at every distance. It's also going to give you some practice in your ability to focus. When you go out and you do a 20-mile long run, there are points in that long run where you have to focus, you have to associate, you have to think about, I need to do this, I need to take in my fluids or take in some calories or get up this hill. But by and large, it's really loose mentally. And some will disassociate. They'll think about everything in the world except running. When you're doing this, you have to think about running. If you're not focused on what you're doing, you're probably not getting to the intensity level that we're after on this one. It will also produce more human growth hormone. And if we're producing more HGH, you know that's a good thing. Anything that's on the banned substance list, but you can produce naturally, is probably going to be a beneficial workout. And that's one of the many benefits of this work. So I know some of you are going to be excited about running quarters. Some of you are going to dread it. Either way, you're going to get great work done. And when you're done, because it's type 2 fun, you'll think it was a really good idea. So that was a lot about a workout that we do periodically. We don't do this one a lot, but we do this maybe a couple times a year, but a little bit more explanation as to why. Moderate quality workout this week. We won't need to talk too much about that. Steady state run at 75 to 85%. This is stamina training, the ability to maintain a pace. So we're interested in what you can maintain from start to finish. This maybe has you a little bit faster at points. This is what's going to help you maintain the new economy pace that you're setting. If you're feeling good, if you're under low duress, extend the steady state beyond what's in Training Peaks. You might have a total of 8 to 10 and steady state run might be 4 to 5. If you get up to threshold, if you get up to, well, even 75%, which is below threshold for most of you by about 10%. If you get there and you're feeling relatively comfortable for the effort that you're putting forth, add another mile or two. Of that 8 to 10 miles, if you go 6, 7 might be a lot for a 10 mile because we probably want at least a 2 mile warm up and a mile cool down. But extend that a little bit. Get a little bit more benefit from that. If your mileage is high enough, you might be seeing 8 to 10 mile steady state runs as part of a 12 or 13 mile run. Now, most of you aren't doing that on a weekday workout, especially on a moderate quality workout. But the point of mentioning that is we want to extend that if possible. It shouldn't turn into you're digging a hole and you're going to be recovering for 3 days. But if you're feeling fine, go an extra mile, maybe 2 miles. It is type 1 fun, by the way. I think once you get to that 75 to 85%, it feels good. Fast is fun. You're running fast, but it's at an effort level that feels pretty good. Okay, maybe it's type 1.5. Long run endurance. We have 4 to 5 of those left for those of you running Carmel or Boston. Make sure that we have those scheduled well. If you're running Polar Bear, for example, that falls on a day that we would normally be doing an endurance long run. So we need to move that. We don't want to drop them. We don't want to go 3 weeks between long runs. And if we do the long run with quality next week, a week from this one, and then Polar Bear, okay, now we're going 3 weeks in between. So we don't want to do that. So let's make sure that we have that. Personal coaching clients, make sure that I have that right. If I have your race schedule, we have probably adjusted that already, but if not, let me know. And then something to work on while you're doing this, the long run lab, how much carbohydrate can you take in and keep your stomach happy and feel great while you're doing it? One of the guys was experimenting in the long run with quality, but also did 20, was experimenting with taking more in, and it seemed to work out really well. So play with that, whether you take it a little bit more often or as he was doing, he was taking 2 at a time. Now, you don't take all of that at once and try to get it down as fast as you can. Your stomach's not going to like that. But if you take your time and gradually take that in, your stomach may tolerate that well. A couple of things. One, your stomach is trainable. So what doesn't feel comfortable now can feel comfortable by race day, but if we don't start working on that now, we won't know. And if your stomach does need a little additional training, or you need to figure out, I need to drink this much if I'm going to take in this much gel, that's something to sort out now. So there's your week. Last week we talked about that 60-day period, January and February, and just getting through it. That gets us to March, where weather hope returns. We have 3 weeks to go. 5 down, 3 to go. Keep it rolling.